All right, we're gonna begin. Let me just say I'm honored to be the mayor of San Clemente, especially at this critical moment in history. We're at this moment in history, but this has been 20 years in the making, and there's 20 years of history of policymakers, public officials, your predecessors that have done so much to make this happen, to restore our beaches. We happen to be here right now, but it's 20 years of history, and it's 50 more years of history that are going to take place to replace the sand. It's a huge undertaking that couldn't happen without the partnership, the collaboration of our federal partners, our state partners, and our county partners and local partners. Today it's important to recognize all the community leaders who had the vision and the courage to start this project 20 years ago. Many of them continue to provide leadership in San Clemente, and we hope to recognize or identify some of them in a minute or two. I'd like to extend a special welcome and thank Congressman Levin for being here. He helped secure the federal funding for this project. And we also have the LA District Commander of the Army Corps of Engineers, Colonel Baker, who is guiding this complex undertaking behind us. The machines are already moving, and so thank you for being here. I'd also recognize the following leaders who contributed to this project in so many ways. Council member, I think Lori Gorchek was going to be here. Gonchek, representative of the contractors, Manson Construction, representative from San Clemente Pure Pride, who had a lot to do with this, and representative from San Diego Association of Government, SANDAG, who is a partner of ours in many projects. And if I miss someone, we'll try and recognize you a little bit later. The first phase of this 50-year commitment will address many of the shoreline challenges. The project will protect critical shoreline infrastructure, including rail lines, utilities, businesses, homes, as well as preserve access, public access to our beaches. We will restore the sand that's been cut off because of the natural nourishment that we're missing because of development and other man-made structures. We're helping Mother Nature with her task of artificially impacting the supply of sand. And we're preparing for the potential impacts of climate change too. This project not only addresses a portion of the shoreline, but as your mayor, along with other members of the City Council, Mayor Pro Tem Mark Enmeyer, Steve Noblock, Chris Duncan, Rick Loeffler, we're going to need more money along the way to fund this over the next 50 years. So this is an ongoing project, an ongoing commitment I think we're all going to make to raise the funds necessary to keep nourishing our beaches. Our coastal administrator, Leslia Meyerhoff, has been key to the success this year, and thank you for being here also. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Andy Hall, our city manager. Before I turn this over to Congressman Levin, I just want to review two little items about this project. Over the next few weeks, and about every 6 years thereafter for the next 50 years, 251,000 cubic yards of sand will be placed on our beach between T Street and Linda Lane. That will add about 50 feet of sand across 3,412 linear feet. A majority of that funding was provided by the federal partners, and we thank them for that. But the future will be a 50-50 share between San Clemente. That means it's close to $10 million coming up. So we're going to figure out a way to get that money, and we're going to need the cooperation of San Clemente. I would like now to turn time over to a true friend of San Clemente, the Honorable Mike Levin. After his remarks, we'll be glad to hear from Colonel Baker, and then we'll hear from Senator Wynn or Representative Donna Clary, the Chief of Staff for Assemblyman Davies, and we will also hear from Scott Kirby, our partner with the state parks, and we may even change the agenda a little. Oh, no, Katrina. Katrina's also a big part. I'm sorry about that. I'm pretty much. Thank you. following the remarks, we will take a few questions if you have any. Thank you, Congressman Levin. Thank you for being here.
Well, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? Excellent. Are you excited to see sand on the beach behind us?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm Mike Levin. I'm so fortunate to get to represent San Clemente up to Laguna Niguel, down to Del Mar. We've got, I think, the most beautiful district in the United States. What do you think?
Yeah.
Not bad, right? But with 50 miles of coastline, we also have our challenges. And when I first got into office in 2019, it was very important to me that I developed a relationship of trust and confidence with the Army Corps of Engineers, and I'm so grateful to them for all the hard work these last 4 or 5 years that has led to this moment. I want to thank Colonel Baker. I want to thank your predecessor as well, but Colonel Baker, you may not know, he's got a vested interest in seeing sand back here in San Clemente because he's got family that lives here. I had an opportunity to meet them, so I asked them to keep reminding Colonel Baker that we need more sand every year here in San Clemente. I want to thank all the great elected officials here in the city that have made this a reality. You heard from Mayor Cabral, and I'm so grateful for his partnership. His predecessor, Chris Duncan, where did Chris go? Chris is over here. Thank you, like right here. But so grateful to Chris. When I first got elected, we sat down very early and we discussed the importance of getting this project done. And Supervisor Foley has been just tremendous, a great partner, finding sand wherever she can, landfills, who knows where, but finding sand, helping us out all throughout our great district. And what I will tell you is that this wasn't easy, securing these federal funds, but we were able to secure about $9 million for here in San Clemente and also about $30 million for down in Encinitas and Solana Beach. I want to thank the folks at Manson Construction, Jim, thank you wherever you are for that work going on behind us. And what we will see is a 50-foot wide sandy beach, or 50 feet additional sandy beach, and about 251,000 cubic yards of sand, and that'll go 3,400 feet from Linda Lane to T Street. Just the same down in San Diego County, about 1 million cubic yards of sand are being dredged right now. And what's important is what the mayor mentioned. It's not just a one-time deal. We're talking about a 50-year commitment from the Army Corps of Engineers, a 50-year commitment. And it's incumbent on me to go back and get those federal funds every 5 years or so. So this $9 million will help us for the next 5 years. The $30 million down in San Diego County will help us for the next 5 years. Now, why is this so important? It's so important not only because we like to have a nice wide sandy beach, because we want to go down and have that great recreational asset. It's really important for all our coastal tourism as well. If you think about all the jobs up and down our coast, in Orange and San Diego County alone, it's about 140,000 jobs and a multi-billion-dollar impact to our regional economy. But also think of the rail corridor that connects San Diego to the rest of Southern California, the Losan corridor. We know that it's the second busiest corridor in the United States. Only the Northeast corridor is busier, about 8 million passengers a year, but also so critically important for freight, about $1 billion a year in freight. So when the rail corridor shuts down for a month or for 6 weeks or 2 months, we're talking about an impact of hundreds of millions of dollars potentially in our regional economy. And what do we need to do to keep that corridor open for the long term? I think we need 3 things. The first is sand. We need sand. Sand protects our rail corridor. It protects the bluffs. It protects from landslides up and down our coast. Number 2, we need stabilization. So every year, working with our friends like Colonel Baker, we talk about putting very expensive Band-Aids on our rail corridor up in here in San Clemente and all the way down in Del Mar every year as well. Third, we need stakeholder engagement. I don't pretend to know the answers of where it should go 50 or 100 years from today, but the community must be involved and we must achieve consensus. So I don't know if anyone is here from OCTA, but we thank them. The same with Sandag down, well, you're here from OCTA. The same with Sandag down in San Diego. I want to conclude by turning it over to a great champion for this entire community, somebody that I've known longer than I think either of us would like to admit, but she has tirelessly and selflessly been working for the greater good of South Orange County for as long as I can remember. and that's our supervisor, Katrina Foley. Katrina.
Good morning, everyone. Another day in paradise here in South County in San Clemente. And as I get ready for the holiday, all I want for Christmas is more sand. But in all seriousness, Colonel Baker and I were just in Seal Beach, Sunset Beach last week, where the Army Corps is delivering 1.7 million cubic yards of sand into our Sunset Beach, Seal Beach area that will flow to Newport Beach. And now we have sand here in San Clemente and in San Diego County, and that will help our South County beaches. So what we need here in Orange County, and what I'm advocating for every single day with our public works partners, and I want to give a shout out to Susan here, who works tirelessly on saving our beaches and getting more sand onto our beaches. Yes, Susan, thank you. Is we need consistent, regular maintenance of our beaches. I am of the opinion, and I'm advocating for treating our beaches just like we treat potholes, roads, and other public works repairs. We need that consistent maintenance. So if we have every 5 years on the north end, on the south end, bringing sand from the Army Corps, and then if the county can every year supplement that with changes in our flood district plan. We have our South Coast Resiliency Plan that we're going to be announcing in January. We will be able to have more consistent, reliable maintenance of our beaches and save our beaches for our economy, for our coastal rail system, for our properties. In the northern part of the district, it's actually a flood deterrent, because some of those homes would be flooded but for the big sandy beaches. And of course, it's a great way to recreate and to keep healthy here in Orange County. So thank you, Colonel Baker and the Army Corps of Engineers. And with that, I'll have you come to the podium. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for the warm introduction. It is truly an honor to be here today to celebrate the start of this landmark project of the city of San Clemente. For those who don't know me, my name is Colonel Andrew Baker. I'm the commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Los Angeles District. And I want to begin by emphasizing how much we value this collaboration with the city of San Clemente and with our local, state, and federal partners as we work side by side to reduce shoreline erosion and protect coastal infrastructure, as well as protect those who live, work, and recreate here, and those who use the rail service between Orange County and San Diego. It was just last May when my predecessor, Julie Bolton, was here celebrating the signing of the project partnership agreement with the city of San Clemente. And here we are again today, less than a year later, celebrating its start. What an incredible feat we can achieve when we all work together with one common goal in mind. The authorized project includes the construction of the 50-foot wide beach renourishment project along the San Clemente shoreline, using a replenishment of about 250,000 cubic yards of compatible sediment every 6 years, on average, for the next 50 years. The initial cost share of this project is an estimated $15 million, with 65% federal dollars and 35% non-federal funding between the Corps and the city. Future replenishments will be at about a 50-50 cost share. As many of you know, loss of shore protection and recreational beach width and damage to coastal, residential, and commercial properties from storm-induced waves are a severe threat to community members, homes, businesses, and transportation, and those who visit San Clemente State Beach for its natural beauty and many recreational opportunities. The narrowing of the shoreline also subjects public facilities seaward of the railroad corridor to wave-induced damage and further reduces recreational space at an already space-limited area. The Burlington, Northern, Santa Fe, Amtrak, and Metrolink commuter rails carry more than 100,000 passengers per day and is located about 25 feet from the shore. Damage to coastal, residential, and commercial properties from storm-induced waves have become a serious threat over the past several years. This project is designed to help address all of these issues by reducing the potential storm damage to facilities located along the coast of San Clemente and to help restore and maintain recreational use along the coastal area. I'm so excited we are bringing the talent and experience of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Los Angeles District, and Portland District to work side by side with the city of San Clemente in this investment to restore and preserve the shoreline and protect community members. In addition to all of our partners, I also want to extend my gratitude to the Corps' Portland District, which manages the West Coast Hopper Dredge contract. Manson Construction, which was awarded the construction contract in July, and all of those working and advocating for this project behind the scenes. We are in a unique position to make a positive impact and potentially create a better, safer tomorrow for those of us here now and for future generations. Today's event solidifies our commitment to guarding the safety and welfare of San Clemente community members and to restoring and protecting the areas where they live, work, and play. Thank you very much.
We also have a representative of Senator Wynn, who is our state partner, and Assemblywoman Lori Davies is there. Here, come on in. Just
Good morning. On behalf of Assemblymember Davies, it's a pleasure to be here. This project is just the beginning. It's the beginning of something that is long-term. It needs a lot of solutions and a very big village to fix this. Assemblymember Davies represents San Diego and Orange County, like Congressman Levin. And this is not unique to just San Clemente, these problems with sand erosion and coastal erosion. So together, I mean, this is awesome. You have every level of government here to work towards the solutions, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
our Mayor Pro Tem had a word too also.
Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Let's just start by recognizing what a monumental event this is for San Clemente. Our city leaders have been working with this, along with federal, state elected officials for 20 years to finally see this culmination of more sand on our beaches. Especially want to thank Congressman Mike Levin for getting this over the finish line, as well as the Army Corps of Engineers for getting this project done. Thank you. I want to direct just for a moment our attention down to the southern tip of San Clemente. And I know you can't really see it from the cameras there, but at the very southern tip, we have Cotton's Point. And it's an incredible surf spot, don't tell anyone. But it's also where I grew up. And that area, there's no more beach left there. It is completely gone. There used to be 100 yards of beach from the railroad track down to the water. There's 3 reasons why that has occurred. First one is global warming, which has caused ocean rise as well as stronger storm surges, which has taken away a lot of the beach down there. The second one is our riverbeds, diminishing our natural replenishment. We have concreted them, and our sand that usually comes through that littoral cell down south, that natural replenishment just isn't there anymore. And then third, in order to secure the rail line, because of these first 2 issues, there was rock placed in front of the railroad track, which is understandable. We needed to secure that rail line, but that beach is gone. And unfortunately, I don't know that it's going to be coming back. So let's be clear that that wasn't because of natural erosion. That was because of man-made causes. And as we look at that, we should look at it as a warning of what can happen if we don't take action. So today is the first step in taking that action to restore our beach. And 250 cubic yards of sand is a great, 250,000 cubic yards is a great first step. And we as a community are so proud to be part of this. But it's still just a first step. In order to properly restore this beach, we need upwards of 2 million cubic yards. This will take place over the next 50 years. In partnership with the Army Corps of Engineers, with our state legislators, with our federal government, but it also comes with a price tag. Today, the federal government was mentioned earlier. I had my numbers a little bit different, but I believe you said 15 million. 65% is covered by the federal government, 35% by our local city. Years to come, we're going to have to pay for half of that, and we need to find the funding for that. So in 6 years, we don't necessarily have the budget for it right now. We have people from around our state, around our country. We just had our World Surf League Championship here. They come from all over to enjoy our beaches. So we need help. We need help financially to cover this. We need help from our state legislature. Thank you from our federal government. We need support to make this a reality over the next 50 years. And I know that when we work together, as we have seen today, working together is incredible. We can get stuff done when we work together. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing over this next 50 years. Thank you.
We have one final speaker, Scott Kibbe from the California State Parks. Thank you for being here. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Kibbe. I'm the South Sector Superintendent of the Orange Coast District of California State Parks, which spans Doheny, San Clemente, and San Onofre State Beaches. I'm so happy to be here today to celebrate with everyone on this massive collaboration and milestone for 50 years of continued public recreation here at the city of San Clemente. And this sand project is going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible for the residents and visitors, which is obviously an economic engine here in this area. And just as a neighboring entity down there with California State Parks, we're just so happy to celebrate this massive milestone. Absolutely. So congratulations.
Thank you. Just a real quick question or two.
I just want to thank, because there's a lot of them here, and by the way, it's great to see state parks, our partners to the south, right? Because we host the World Surf League Finals at Trestles, but we're the host city. And if we want to keep being the premier surf city in the United States, sorry, Huntington Beach, we need sand so that they can continue to host that down there, right? Because they're running out of sand too. So I want to see sand from the south side to the north side. But I also want to thank all those folks you see around here with the hats that say City of San Clemente. The unsung heroes of San Clemente is our city employees, who came out today in force, and this wouldn't be done without them, along with our residents. So I did want to give a shout out to our city employees. Thank you guys for coming out, and let's get back to work.
Yeah. All right. Is there a question or two? Yes.
For the Colonel, can you kind of go over, please, what will we see, what surfers and residents and visitors will be seeing over the next, and I don't know what the time frame is. So please explain.
Yes. So you don't see any sand being pumped presently. Right now we're waiting on a part for the dredge. That arrives a little bit later today. You'll start to see sand pump down to the beach. What you'll see is the dozers kind of pumping out what we call like almost a levee on the parallel to the beach, and the pipe you see there will pump sand into the area, and the sand will basically fall out of the water and re-nourish the beach. You'll have heavy equipment kind of moving the sand in a manner to make it look like the beach we all know and love as this happens. And they'll work until complete, really, moving this 250,000 cubic yards of sand up the beach. So where where we're putting the sand in, you probably don't want to surf right in that area, but it will be fairly pinpoint as they kind of move down the beach. So locals, surfers, the public will continue to get to use the beach, just not right where the project is throughout the life of the project. So.
Can you talk about where the sand will be coming from? Will
Yes.
it be coming from ships to this boat, or how will that work?
If you see the buoys out there, right over kind of directly over my head, almost out there, that is where the sand. That's the borrow point. So the dredge will pull up and basically vacuum sand from the bottom out there and pump it onto the beach.
Oh, so is this boat involved in all over here or something?
Wow. Oh, it's Oceanside. Okay. The barge will deliver out there. Yeah. Yeah. So borrow point is Oceanside. Yeah. That's where the barge comes in. Right.
But is this boat behind you involved?
The tugboat? I'm not sure the answer to that one. Is the tugboat involved in the tugboat? Is the tugboat involved in the? Yeah, sure. Come on. So this is the contractor running it. Yeah.
I'm Jim McNally with Manson Construction. I'm sorry, what the question was.
The question was, is the tugboat involved in
The tugboat is there to assist the dredge.
the?
Sorry, the tugboat is there to assist the dredge in case it has any issues in the pump off. And it'll hook up to that floating hose you see out there and pump off about 3,000 yards at a time, a couple times a day.
Or where's the sand?
I'm Jim McNally with Manson Construction.
So can you start from the beginning, sir? I'm sorry. Explain what we'll be seeing when the dredge gets here.
Sure.
Step a little closer to the mic, please.
Sure. There's a hopper dredge called the Bayport that is currently off Oceanside being repaired. And once they finish their repairs, they will take a load of sand out of the borrow site, which is off Oceanside, and they will sail here to the pump-off location. They'll pick up that hose, and they'll pump through this 2,000 feet of steel pipe, delivering about 3,000 yards of sand at a time. That'll take a couple hours. Then they'll go back and get another load, and they'll continue to do that for roughly a month until they deliver all the sand to the beach. And the pipeline will advance up and down the beach with these guys you see down here in the yellow equipment.
The dredging is happening in Oceanside.
The actual loading of the dredge is happening off of Oceanside, correct. And they're bringing that sand here and delivering it through this pipeline because, of course, the dredge drafts 20 some odd feet and it stays offshore next to that pipeline and then pumps it through the pipeline onto the beach where the yellow equipment here will shape it.
And then at the end, what will things look like for people standing here?
Beautiful. Roughly a 50-foot wide berm and then a foreshore slope that will be stable into the ocean. So.
And this is rain or shine?
Oh yes, oh yes. What could shut us down is a storm event that would create a wave climate that would be too difficult for the ship to connect to the hose. So that would be the one weather event that would shut us down.
We've seen somebody mentioned the rail lines, and we've seen the train station down there, all the Lost Beach along the rail lines. We've had the closure of Metrolink and other rail lines. Will this improve any of the areas where the rail line has been impacted?
We are the contractor here to move the sand, the design side, the management, all of the coastal engineering comes from our client here, the Army Corps of Engineers, and of course the city.
Can someone talk to whether it will improve the rail line situation?
Well, one of the places where the rail line was impacted was just right there, literally right down there. So putting sand on the beach and protecting this entire area here will certainly help. Now there are other parts of our congressional district, all the way down to Del Mar and all the way up north of here, that are going to need help as well. That's why I'm so encouraged. We've got 1 million cubic yards of sand going on the beaches in Encinitas and Solana Beach. We're going to need more up and down our district.
This area, I think, is from the hillside. Will any of it, like the train station, will any of it, will any of the sand end up there and improve the amount of footage used in that area?
One of the worst areas is Cypress Shores, as was mentioned. I don't think the sand reaches there, but maybe Leslie, you want to talk? Is it Dolan? Okay.
Can you introduce yourself? Yeah, my name is Dolan Chung. I'm the project manager for the San Clemente project. And the question was?
They want to know if it's going to hit Central Shore.
Oh, yes. So the way the project is built out and designed is what will happen is we'll have beach up here in the pier area, 50 feet, 3,400 feet, long. And then what will happen is over time, that sand, because the way the wave action works in the beach, the sand will propagate slowly further south. So what you'll see eventually is some of that sand will reach Cypress Shores, and then eventually, this sand will, start going down there, and then the next cycle will come in where we'll again put another plot of 251,000 cubic yards, and then that'll continue to progress down to the littoral cell, down to Cypress Shores. Yes. So that's eventually the point of the project that provides the coastal storm risk management benefits. Is not only protection for the lost sand corridor, but then also protection for the housing and the recreational uses by making the sand beach wider in the northern part of the cell, and as the sand goes down, it'll basically replenish the entire stretch of San Clemente from the north part down to the south.
Any other questions? Yes.
Does the city have any reportable action regarding efforts to seek sand sources for other parts of the coastline?
Do we have any future efforts? My name is Steve Noblock, a member of the City Council. Yes, we do. We're considering options. Currently, this project only covers less than a half a mile. We've got over 5 miles of beach. 5 to 7 years ago, the sand was in Cypress Shores. It's not there now. It's gone. We've lost beaches. We're losing beaches now. 50 years from now, we might not have any beaches left. What we'd like to do in the future is consider free enterprise type solutions. The federal government's been a great partner, and they've worked for 20 years to make this happen. But we need to make sure in the future things happen faster and cheaper. By example, NASA, when they started the space project, the current SpaceX is 700 times cheaper than the original NASA. It's 44 times cheaper than the space shuttle effort. We could have a dredge, and we've discussed it at the City Council before, have a dredging operation which takes sand right off our beach. You can see it from the bluffs. We've got sand that's 100 yards off our shore that we could dredge and drop back up on the beach. We're currently analyzing borrow sites up and down the coast, and when those borrow sites are identified, and if we have any of them close in, we can take that sand immensely cheaper and blow it back up on our beach. So we have considered that, and I'm sure we'll be considering that in the future. That's a great move forward.
Any other final questions? Thank you all for being here.